G'day and welcome to Wine Week. I'm Danny.
And I'm Brad.
And this week you're going to kick us off, Brad.
I'm going to kick off with a McLaren Vale Cabernet. Oh, I bet you thought I was going to say McLaren Vale Shiraz there, didn't you? This is the Richard Hamilton Hut Block Cabernet, and it's the pretty recently released 2006, which is a really good vintage of this wine. A few years back, it did another really good version of the Cabernet, about the 02 I think it was. Really hit form again with this 2006, and the best thing about it is the price. We actually picked this up on special for about $15. You know, the retail is probably high teens, but you're going to pick it up around the traps for 15, 16, and at that it is magnificent drinking. You know, it'd be even great drinking it around the mid-20s to high 20s. Really rich, dense Cabernet flavours, and shows, you know, McLaren Vale, they can do Cabernet as well as their Shiraz. So it's the Richard Hamilton Hut Block, really worth a look.
Yeah. Next one we're going to have a look at is another botrytis semillon. We looked at the De Bordelais Noble one only a few weeks ago. This is the Cucathama. Botrytis semillons, basically there's a noble rot, a mould that gets onto the grapes, shrivels them up by taking water out of the grape, concentrates the sugars, concentrates the flavours, and you end up with this amazingly beautiful sweet dessert wine. Look, I really love these, but the Noble one we looked at a couple of weeks ago, it was the 750ml bottle. This is the half bottle size from Cucathama, and really, unless you're kind of looking at 6, 7, 8 or more guests around your table, you're probably not going to get through a big bottle of it because it is really sweet. It's a very heavy, unctuous style of wine that I think goes perfectly with golden syrup dumplings, one of my personal favourites. It's like alcoholic marmalade. I love this sort of stuff, and the Cucathama, a very, very good version of it at around about $20 a bottle. So look out for that, Cucathama Botrytis semillon.
Yeah, and Cucathama coming out with some really good wines at the moment, so keep an eye out for them. I'm going to finish this week with a Howard Park wine. Now, I was lucky enough to be over in Margaret River and dropped in at the guys at Howard Park a few weeks ago when I was over there for a family wedding. And look, across their whole range, they're doing great stuff. But one of the ones that stood out at the tasting that I went to was the Howard Park Scottsdale Shiraz. Now, this comes in at around the sort of mid-30s, so it's not your sort of cheaper entry-level stuff, but this is magnificent. This is actually 2004 we've got in our hands here. It's the 2005 I tried at the tasting. Look, both are really good wines. If you can get your hands on the newer released 05, it's fantastic. It's from the Great Southern area, so it's not actually from Margaret River. It's a bit further south and a bit more inland, but this is sort of their regional series, and look, they capture the essence of what you can do with cool climate Shiraz here. It's really rich and intense, but a bit of elegance there, a bit of complexity already. I mean, this will age well for 5+ years, but it's the sort of wine you can already open it up now, under screw cap, drinking really well. So it's the Howard Park Scottsdale Shiraz, really worth a look.
Yeah, Howard Park, another winery right at the top of their game at the moment. Anyhow, that's it for this week. We'll see you all again next week.
See you next week.